The game between Liverpool and Tottenham saw some shocking refereeing decisions that influenced the game result. The goal scored by Luis Diaz was cancelled for offside and almost everybody could see Diaz was onside, but VAR still managed to fumble it. What made it worse was the context. Liverpool were already one man down following what some might call a controversial red card for Curtis Jones, and 2 minutes after the cancelled goal, Son Heung-min opened the score for Spurs. In the second half, Jørgen deserved second yellow card, but the first one should have never been given for the lack of contact. In fact, it was Destiny Udogie who had to be shown a second yellow card for asking for Jota to be booked. If the referees in England are consistent, this is a booking, because just a month ago in the game between Liverpool and Chelsea, Alexis McAllister received a booking exactly for that. Liverpool were clearly the victims of horrible refereeing, although they aren't the only ones to be in this position, aren't the first ones, and definitely won't be the last ones. In view of this, many fans on social media are demanding that the game be replayed. But can this be the solution? Obviously the refereeing in this game was beyond special, but replaying games will not tackle the issue. It may be tempting to immediately restore justice, but there are strong arguments against it. First of all, that would open up a Pandora's box, and teams would be arguing that this and that game should be replayed. On top of the VAR controversy, we would be arguing about which games should be replayed and which shouldn't. Secondly, this would mess the schedules completely. Teams in England already have too many games to play. If anything, that's an invitation for more injuries, although broadcasters would probably be happy. Some might say, replay games from a certain minute. But then again, where do you draw the line? Do you replay Spurs against Liverpool from Jones's red card or from Diaz's goal? And if referees make massive mistakes in replayed games, do we replay those games as well? Most crucially, replaying games would not fix the issue. In medicine, prevention is better than cure. Fixing the current system seems easier than stockpiling even more problems. Some might say that at least scrapping the VAR could fix most problems. Prominent voices in the media, including former footballers like Darren Bent, are calling for the technology to be binned. But the thing is, many forget that officiating before VAR was not any better. Nigel de Jong's kung fu tackle in a World Cup final, Robin van Persie's second yellow card because he didn't hear the whistle in a packed Camp Nou, Tom Herring every burst refereeing in that Chelsea v Barca game. These are just prominent examples of blunders at the highest level where major mistakes influence the biggest games. Ultimately, it's not about the technology but the people behind it. VAR was introduced to prevent blatant errors from happening, but in the 5th season with the video assistant technology in the Premier League, nobody still understands how it functions. It perhaps doesn't help that English referees now take long trips to the Middle East during the business week to officiate a game. The same Darren England was in the United Arab Emirates 84 hours before sitting in front of the monitor for the Spurs v Liverpool clash. From London to the Emirates, it's a 12-hour round trip, plus time to officiate the game, get to the airport and sleep in between. The professional game Match Officials Limited remains a very closed organization, with the exception of all too frequent apologies that nobody needs anymore. We don't hear referees explain their decisions, we don't know how they communicate, and it seems like they don't know either. The official explanation for Diaz's call is that a significant human error took place. VAR Darren England believed that the on-field referee Simon Hooper gave the goal to Liverpool. England told Hooper check complete, meaning the on-field decision stays. Unless England was jet-lagged from the recent Middle East trip, you have to ask questions as to why he never informed Hooper that a mistake had been made. Not even Spurs fans would have complained since Diaz was onside. People are indeed prone to errors and some decisions will always be open to debate, even with the help of footage. Last season, VAR forgot to draw the offside lines to check Brentford's equaliser against Arsenal amid the title race. And in the previous game between Spurs and Liverpool in April 2023, Diogo Jota avoided a red card for sticking his darts into Oliver Skip's head. The referee was just in front and VAR didn't even check it. Officials should be protected because it is indeed a difficult job, but they shouldn't be hidden away. These are grown-up men who should be held accountable for making mistakes and also praised for making great calls. The only bit of insight we've had into how VAR functions is the most damning statement by former referee Mike Dean. When Anthony Taylor missed a blatant hair pull in Chelsea v Spurs in August 2022, VAR Mike Dean swept it under the rug. Dean later explained, "I didn't want to send him up to the monitor because he is a mate as well as a referee, and I think I didn't want to send him up because I didn't want any more grief than he already had." Anthony, he is big and bold and ugly enough to know if he's going to the screen, he's going to the screen for a reason. It's just a brainwave by me, a really bad call. The bad attitude towards referees must change, but referees and the Premier League should also make an effort for it to happen by being more open in general. They should also make an effort to study other leagues and sports where the video assistant technology doesn't make Fancy's piss boil every week. In Australia, for example, the refs are mixed up.
So we've got 2 tackles.
So this is the one's gone over the top of the ball, studs up, straight to the shin.
That's enough.
And that, for me, is serious foul play.
Which encourages them to communicate and the public can appreciate it. There are also good examples of the VAR technology in tennis and rugby. And what do you think is the solution to the current refereeing crisis? Let us know in the comments, and also like this video if you enjoyed the analysis, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so more people could watch it. See you in other videos.